At the 2025 San Diego Comic-Con panel for the upcoming NCIS spin-off NCIS, Tony and Ziva, series star Cote De Pablo almost let something slip to the audience, making us even more excited to see what's in store for the show. Screen Rant's Rachel Forch was in attendance for the Tony and Ziva panel, which was moderated by NCIS star Brian Dietzen. During the panel, the cast, which includes fellow NCIS alum Michael Weatherly, was asked about any Easter eggs from the flagship series appearing in the new show. De Pablo's response indicates Easter eggs are a certainty, and almost gave away more. The Ziva actor revealed that was all she was able to tell the audience, though. De Pablo was warned in teasing fashion about giving away spoilers before going any further, and she quickly became tight-lipped as the panel moved on to the next topic. What this means for NCIS, Tony and Ziva. The series is still tied to NCIS. Even though De Pablo was warned about spoilers so quickly before getting any specifics out in her answer, it's confirmed that Easter eggs in the show are inevitable. It makes sense that NCIS, Tony and Ziva would want to maintain its ties to the flagship series through those nods to the original. NCIS has been running successfully on CBS for more than 2 decades and has outlasted all of its previous spin-offs. New spin-off NCIS, Sydney also currently airs on CBS, as does the prequel NCIS, Origins, but neither are as well established. Connecting to it can only be a boost for the upcoming spin-off, which will stream on Paramount+. Tony, Weatherly, was an NCIS agent for over a decade, and Ziva, De Pablo, for nearly a decade herself. It would be impossible for the show not to reference its ties to the agency, even though audiences can watch NCIS, Tony and Ziva without having watched the flagship show in order to enjoy the spin-off. De Pablo's response and the warning of spoilers being issued so quickly, however, seem to indicate more than simply a mention of a familiar character or the events of an episode from a decade earlier. Confirmation of a character's name mentioned, or Gibbs rules in NCIS, is not enough to warrant De Pablo having to keep quiet. Our take on Cote De Pablo's answer. NCIS, Tony and Ziva is hiding something big. Michael Weatherly as Tony and Cote De Pablo as Ziva in a hospital in NCIS, Tony and Ziva image via Paramount+. We do live in an era in which leaks from sets and spoilers abound on social media. It's entirely possible that those involved with NCIS, Tony and Ziva simply want to preserve the fan experience before the show lands on streaming. It does, however, seem that the show is hiding something bigger. There has been speculation since the NCIS spin-off was announced that the show could cross over with the flagship series at some point. Many fans are even hopeful about Tony and Ziva popping back up on NCIS. Because the show will stream instead of airing on CBS, however, there has been doubt that the crossover would be possible. The Law and Order franchise has already proven that crossovers between streaming platforms and network television are not impossible, though. Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, which airs on NBC, and Law and Order, Organized Crime, which streams on Peacock, allowed characters to move between the shows. That crossover helps to make the universe feel full, though someone who does not have live TV would not necessarily have to watch SVU to keep up with organized crime. It appears that NCIS, Tony and Ziva could be heading down a similar road. With De Pablo being warned about potential spoilers as the result of something as simple as talking about an Easter egg, a crossover between NCIS and NCIS, Tony and Ziva seems even more likely to be in the cards than ever.